Hi everyone, it's Tammy at Frou-frou Studio. Welcome back. Today we're going to do an episode of I Saw It on Pinterest. And I found a pen that I want to try. Because, I want to try everything that I see on Pinterest. And today I want to try and make a journal card following this piece. And this particular piece is made, I think, it's thicker, and has a lot of dimension to it. So I think it's mainly more for home decor, to set on an easel or hang on a wall or, hang on a inspiration board or something like that, because it's, in my opinion, too thick to put on a journal. So I'm going to adapt it into a journal card. And I'm actually going to make two different ones because I had two different ideas. The first one is going to be really similar to this one. I even have the same people. But the other one is going to be a little different and more my take on it. So this particular pen is by Tracy Sensory, and I'm sure I'm not saying that last name correctly, but it's Sunseri. It does have an article with it if you would like to look it up on Pinterest, and you can hit the read it and see, what it's all about. So the first thing that I thought of when I saw this is taking the 12 by 12 sheets by Tim Holtz that have the little 2 by 2 squares on it that I never know what to do with it. And although I think, I didn't read the article, but I think she actually cut hers. But what I'm going to do is I have taken some of those little 2 by 2 strips that are on the paper, like these. I'll show you, like these sheets that I have left, and I never know what to do with these. So I think this is a good make for those, if you have any of those left. And I cut them down, and I actually made mine 1 by 2. And the reason I did is I thought the scale would be better for a journal card and have more squares if I did a 1 by 2 instead of a 2 by 2. And so I'm going to, first thing, glue these on here. Like that, so that we have a nice sized journaling card. And then we're going to decorate it after that. So I'm going to get this glued down so it can be drying, and then we'll move on to the next step. But yeah, you could also use probably the collage strips that he came out with. I think they're 2 inches wide as well. But the thing about those is I like those as they are, and so I didn't want to cut them up. And those also have a lot of photographs in them, and I didn't particularly want photographs. I wanted more patterns, and so that's why I went with these. I am putting these just on a piece of cream colored cardstock, which is going to make them be pretty thick journal cards. I think they'll be nice and sturdy to put in your journal, but not too thick, I'm hoping. Of course, you know, I always say that, and then I end up layering everything, and it ends up being thick, but you get the point. So I'm just going to get those all glued down. And then, like I said, while it's drying, as a matter of fact, I might go ahead and do both of them because I need to do some gessoing on the other one. So, about did that one upside down. Trying to get that as tight as possible so I don't have any gaps. And for this one in particular, I tried to get some strips that add some florals. Make sure I'm not putting that upside down. Okay, we're a little bit uneven because I think because it's off two different sheets that the 2x2 areas were not the exact same. Alright, so I'm going to do this one as well. So like I said, it can be drying. Now what I did on this one, just to give it a little bit of a different look and to put my spin on it, is I cut one of the squares on each end in half. So instead of being lined up, they're kind of staggered. And again, this won't be even because the papers, it's two different papers, but we'll even it up when we cut it out. I hope everybody's having a good day. It is windy here today. Oh my goodness, the wind is blowing. It blew all night. I guess it's supposed to not end until sometime in the morning. And the bad thing is we've got some fires going now. I just saw on the news that they're evacuating a couple of people from a couple of counties not very close to me, but I do have woods not too far from me, and I'm always like, oh please don't, you know, strike a tree like when it storms or whatever. You know, I don't want a fire to start or somebody burning. It's like they say don't burn, and it's like people say, oh, you think I shouldn't burn? Well, I'm gonna burn. So nerve-wracking. Okay. I do have kind of exciting news. Oh, only if you love birds like I do. We have an eagle. We haven't had an eagle before, but we have a bald eagle. Not personally, but it is nesting somewhere near our property because it was actually in the yard. It is so majestic, guys. I can't even tell you. It is so huge and so pretty. My husband got really good pictures of it. If I remember, I'll try to post a picture so you guys can see it. Okay, so what I want to put some gesso on this one. And I just want to do some like somebody has painted a wall. And that won't make much sense until I make the card. But I want to go ahead and do it so that I can let it be drying. And then we're going to move on to putting some color on the ladies' dresses. I've already coated them with the clear gesso. So they're ready to go. But I'm just putting a little bit of gesso, probably too much, in my little container. And then I'm going to squirt it with water so it'll be a little thinner. And I'm going to mix that up so it's pretty thin. And then I want to just kind of do that. Okay, so I'm going to let that dry. Put that gesso over there out of my way and wipe my brush off because I don't have any water. But I do have somewhere, I thought I had a wet wipe. It's in the floor. Imagine that. Just so I can at least wrap my brush up until I'm done. And then I can go wash it. Okay. So the next step, I'm going to set this aside for a minute. My next step is going to be to color these little ladies. So let me get my watercolor brush. I'm going to do a water brush. I'm going to do it with oxide inks this time. And let's see, I think I want a pink, a green, and a blue maybe. So let's see what I've got. I'm going to do bundled sage. Spun sugar. What color blue do I want? Let's do a purple. Let's do shaded lilac. Okay, so who do we want to put in what color? Let's do the lady in the middle in the plaid dress. Let's do her green and just try to do the little squares and see what happens. Actually, I could probably do the whole thing because the squares are going to come out darker. Anyway. I don't want this color to be really bold. Just tint it a little bit. You can do this with Distress Oxide. You can do this with colored pencils. You can do it with markers. But I would suggest that you put the clear gesso, or you could probably do it with Collage Medium as well. Just something to give you something for that ink to bite into. Wire coloring. Okay, so there's that one. Now, who do we want to put in? I think we'll put making a mess. I need my big cloth. Where's my big cloth? There it is. I really need to get a new one. It's about had it. Sorry, I just slid my mat. I hope that didn't make you drunk there. Dizzy. Okay, so let's do this lady in the purple. Oops. Stuck my finger in it. You can see it doesn't, it's not given an opaque coverage, and you don't want it to. You want it to be kind of translucent and just give a hint of color so that your shadows and everything still show through. I didn't mean to. Oh, that's not a color. I thought that was a color, but it's not. Sometimes it's hard to tell. What you're looking at on these. Or maybe it's not. Maybe I just can't see. I feel like I've got too much water on my brush. Okay, so there's that one. Now let's do the blue. And the, or pink. I'm sorry, pink. I decided pink, didn't I? So this is spun sugar, and it doesn't have a lot of color anyway. So I'm not sure how well you're going to be able to see this one. I'm just going to do her skirt and jacket and not mess with her shirt. Oh, I forgot to do her hat, didn't I? She has a little kerchief tied around her neck, so we'll do it too. Okay. Now, if you don't feel like that the first coat is enough, you can always go back. And that's what I'm feeling on the purple. So I'm going to go back to the purple now that it's dried and do another coat. And I think we'll get a deeper purple or lilac color. If you use the inks instead of the oxides, the color will be more intense. And of course, if you use a colored pencil or a marker, it's going to be more intense as well. And you can just wait between coats and apply as many coats as you'd like until you get the look that you want. And then once you do, you can just let it dry. Alright, let's clean this up out of the way. And we'll go on to the next step. That shouldn't take but just a minute to dry. So we'll scoot that to the corner. Alright, so let's cut out our little pieces here. Even them all out. Get my trimmer. Now, because this background is so dark, I am keeping, that's one reason that I kept the ladies so pastel, is because, I wanted the ladies to stand out. That one just a little bit more off. Okay, so now we have our journal card for that one. We'll go ahead and cut the other one as well while we're at it. Oops, didn't quite go far enough. Probably should have cut the bottom first so I could get a nice straight cut. In the top. No, I'm gonna do this side. No, I'm gonna do this side. Because I got the bottom straight. Still crooked. Sometimes these trimmers get on my nerves. There we go. I'm going to cut that based on the lowest one there. And then get that one. Just a tad more. Okay. All right, so this one is the one our ladies are going on. And I have this little digital that I want to put kind of right there so that it ends up behind their just to kind of break it up and also to make them stand out a little more. And then I have this little piece to go along the bottom. And then I've got some cheesecloth that I'm going to pull apart, make it really stringy. And I'm going to put it underneath. And then I've got a bunch of flowers that I'm going to glue down. Alright, but first, this is way too clean and not distressed. So I'm going to get my, excuse my reach, so I can get my paper distresser. And it's way back there in the corner. It's way back behind Lou. For those of you that are new, this is Lou. She is a beautiful pig with wings. And she sits on my little shelf and crafts with me every day. I also have my friend Jody. Hi, Jody. Sent me a pig as well. And she hangs on my camera tripod. That's her. Isn't she cute? And this is one of my business cards, so it shows a little pig. So, yeah. They craft with me. Okay. So, what are we going to do? We're going to do walnut stain, because it's sitting here. It's the closest one to me at the moment. Put some wrinkles in there. When I first saw these, saw the make, well, the first thing I thought of was when you go and you see a wall, usually in urban areas, and they have hung a bunch of posters and stuff up there, and they've gotten ripped off, and there's just all kinds of little drawings and paintings and stuff like that. Graffiti. And that's what this whole make kind of reminded me of. I don't know why, but it did. So that's kind of where I'm taking it. Gotta when I miss the edge on here. And of course my glue's not gonna work. I haven't used art glitter glue today, so of course it's going to pout. Okay. There we go. I'm going to ink this first. I don't know that that's going to be... I don't want to rough it up too much because it is a journal card and you'll be journaling on the back of it. The roughing up would be more on the surface instead of the actual card. So you still have a nice surface to write on. So this will go behind their head. And I'm wondering, do I want to... Yeah, I think I will. I think I'm going to put two little, four. I'm going to do 4 little holes and put some brads on them. So it looks like it's been attached up to the wall. So I'm going to get my pocket tool. Poke some holes in there. Get some brads. Whoops. I'm knocking everything. Alright, so let's see what we got. Okay, we'll do the bronzy colored ones. That's a long leg one, but I don't think I have any short leg ones left, but that's okay because you can cut them off. And I'm going ahead and putting them on because I don't want them sticking through the back of the card. I keep getting the big ones instead of the little ones. Oh, come on. Okay, one more. I really need to separate these out so that there's a short-legged one. So that they are more by size. I keep telling myself I'm going to do that, and then I never do. See, these I haven't opened yet because I thought I'm going to separate them out by size before I open that pack. That'd be something to do while you're watching TV, wouldn't it? Go through that little thing and separate them. Okay, where'd my scissors go? There they are. Alright, so then you can just take your scissors. Don't use your good scissors. And just snip it off where it's too long. if it'll quit rotating on you while you're trying to do that. Be a good thing. Of course, you could hold it, you know, and then it wouldn't rotate, would it? All right. Come on. There we go. All right, so now, and I'm going to do it kind of cockeyed like that because I want it to look like, you know, it's a poster. And I could have done without even putting those brads in the bottom because it's not going to show. So I'm going to take them out because it's just going to make the ladies bumpy. And that saves me two little brads that now have short legs. Okay. So we're going to put that about right there. So we'll go ahead and put that down. I'm going to use art glitter glue since I have these little thingies, brads back there. Pretty thick where the brads are. Okay, and then I'm going to put my ladies on because everything else is going on top of them. So I can go ahead and put them in place. Okay, now I'm going to put all my flowers in place first, and then I'm going to put on my little thing with the cheesecloth. I think I want this color over here. And all these are $49 in Market, these flowers. Okay, so let's do this one first. And you can use, you know, any kind of die cuts for this. You could use fussy cuts that you've cut out of flowers. You don't have to use flowers. You could use, you know, if you just like them standing there, that's fine. This part is not a requirement. Of course, none of it's a requirement. You know, it's your make. You can do whatever you want to with it. When I do these, I try to give you my interpretation of how I think they constructed it. But, you know, do what you like. That's what I end up doing. You'll see that when I do the other one. You know, adapt it to what you have. In your stash. And it'll end up being just fine. Okay, and then I want to put a couple of these bigger ones kind of toward the front, because it would be, you know, closer to you, to your vision. Okay, now we're going to put our little wall on here, or our little window box, whatever you want to call it. And we're going to put our cheesecloth behind it to kind of look grassy. I'm going to pull that apart a little bit. I think it's a little thick. Just kind of gives it another texture element. And I'm not going to put any glue on that. I'm going to put my glue on this little piece, which is just a piece of white cardstock that has been ran through a embossing folder. And it was in my scrap. And I wanted something white or light colored, because we have so much dark going on in the background. Alright, so there's that one. Now, I do want to kind of take some of these extra pieces that I had cut off, I think, and break up No, I'm not going to do that. Originally, I thought I might want to break up some of the squares, but I think I like it how it is. I do have this little butterfly that I may put on here. Let's put it right there. Okay, yeah, I think that's cute. Now, I'm reserving the right to later add a tab, but I don't want to do that at this point. I have this other flower too, but I don't know that we need it. No, I think we're good. Because I don't know, you know, when I go to put it in a journal, do I want a tab here? Do I want it here? Do I want it here? That's all going to depend on, you know, what kind of journal I'm making, and how it's going to be in. If it's in a belly band, then obviously I would want it on a side, or if it's in a side tuck. But if it's in a top pocket, or, you know, a pocket that's here, I'd want it to pull from here. So, yeah, there will be a tab added at one point, and also a decision made whether to round the corners or not, which I won't do, you know, until I know what journal it's going in. But that's that one. So let's move on to the other one. And this is where I'm kind of going off on my own a little bit. Same idea, concept for the back. The only difference is, you know, I'm doing more of, not that that's not my taste, but this one is going to be more, more along the lines of what I enjoy. So, like I said before, when I saw this reminds me of a wall that has, had posters and stuff on it. Especially with this one, because it has the sign about, you know, New York and Coney Island and all that kind of stuff. So, I'm going to ink around this real quick. This one's going to be a little bit more grungy. I know, say it ain't so. And I am going to put the little different pieces on it. But the first thing that I want to do is I want to put this butterfly on it. And the reason I do is because, like I said, when it reminded me of a wall, I thought of the big murals that you see. We have one in our downtown that somebody did. It's gorgeous. Actually, we have two. One's a butterfly and one's an angel wings. And they painted them on the sides of these old buildings so that you could stand in front of it and get your picture made. And it makes you look like you have butterfly wings or angel wings or whatever. My granddaughter has done it a couple of times. So that is what I want to do, except I want my little person that's standing in front of the wings to be a young man. Now, I do want to color his sweater, and I think I'm going to do a green, but I want a darker green, and actually I'm going to do his pants as well. And let's do those in color pencil. Excuse me while I grab what I need here. Because I changed my mind at the last minute. Oh no, I had all my greens pulled out for got a green. I don't know if this brown's dark enough. We're going to try it, and then if we need to go. I don't even know if you can hear me. I'm over here talking to myself, basically. I hope you can. I'm grabbing a couple different greens. All right. Let's see what we got. All right. That's good green. Alright, so we're going to do sweater. Now you're going to see right away when I do the pencils that they're going to stand out a lot more than what the oxides. And again, I'm just going to go over everything because it's still going to be semi translucent and show the shadowing, you know, where it's darker on the actual paper doll. It's going to be darker. On the sweater. Okay, and then what color brown? Is that going to be? Nope, I don't like that one. This is a pastel pencil. Let's try that. I don't know if it'll stay on here. Nope, it's not going to stay on there. Alright, so, and this one is too orange. Alright, so I'm going back for number 2 here and see if I can do better. I just can't find the color brown that I think I want. Okay, I'm going to try these. This is a raw umber, and it's by Lyra. Yeah, that's closer. This is just a cheapie, but that's okay too. And this is a Sensations, which is refillable. And that one's okay too. So let's do the Lyra. See if that gives us any color. It should. Let's do his hat. Still not dark enough. Let's try this one. Okay, I like that. Should I do shoes? Okay. Now, see how those stripes are kind of really faded? If you decide that you've put too much color, you can take an eraser. Like I've got my little pastel. I use this for pastels. And you can take the color right off there, and it'll make those stripes stand back out. Same with his cuffs there. Okay. So now we got our little guy how we want him. Let's ink around him. Got him a little more grungy. And he's going to stand here in front of the butterfly. Now, I cut out, this piece is what he's going to stand on, and it's a Tim Holtz baseboard. It's the cigar box, but I cut the, I took the back off, so it's not as thick. So I'm going to cut that right at that little blue-green spot. So he is going to stand there. And then I have some of these little pieces, and I'm going to kind of put those to give some more dimension in the background. Just kind of on the different seams, but I'm going to rough them up, and so that's where we're going to kind of get our texture from. We're also going to tatter up our butterfly a little bit. Oops. Okay. Now, the butterfly is supposed to be painted on the wall, so we don't want to make him, you know, look like he's paper. We want him to look like he's been painted. So instead of tearing up the edges, I'm going to take my sanding disc here and I'm going to sand it on the surface a little bit so it looks like the paint has faded. Kind of like that. And then I want to put some white splatters, and I hope my gesso hasn't dried all the way. Alright, let's glue them down first. White splatters everywhere. Okay. And get everything out of the way so I can wipe these up. And then we'll dry it a little bit with the heat gun. Okay, well, it should be good. And I smush them a lot of times because it makes those little cool craters. And I like that. Alright, so now we can put our guy on here. Oh, first we need to put our little cigarette box thing on here, or cigar box. I actually didn't get any white splatters on my iPad. That's a miracle in itself. Okay, and then I also have this gauge, and I was trying to decide if I wanted to put that on there. No, I don't think I will. I think what I will do, though, is put, let me see how long I've been filming. Nope. I'll have to finish it and show you at the end because we're already over an hour. And, you know, YouTube doesn't like that. So, I'll stop it there. Now, what I'm going to do, and it would have to dry and everything anyway, but I'm going to take some texture paste, and down here in this corner, I'm going to take my brick stencil and put some bricks on here with texture paste, I think. Just to kind of finish it off. Again, I'm going to reserve the right. I wish I'd have taken those antenna off. He looks like he has antennas sticking out of his head. But I don't think I can get them off now. But that's okay. Alright, so there we go. There is my take for this week. There's this one, and here's the other one. So yeah, try this. If you're like me and don't know what to do with those little pieces, it's a good way to use them up. So thanks for joining me today, and I will see you guys back in the next video, which will probably be on Saturday, if I had to guess, based on what I have going on as far as makes. I'm working on 4 different projects right now, guys. I'm trying to drive myself crazy, I think. But yeah, look for the finished pieces at the end of the video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.